Okay. Hello, everyone. Hey. Hi, everyone. My name is Sebastien Borget. I'm the CEO and co-founder of the Sandbox. I'm really happy to be here speaking for the first time at EthCC, and I'll try to share some of the work that we've done on our decentralized gaming platform, the Sandbox, and related to Ethereum blockchain. How many of you in the audience are already familiar with the Sandbox? At least I've heard once about it. There's a few already. That's great. Cool. And how many of you have already played a blockchain game or bought an NFT? Nice, like a 20 around. And how many of you already know what is an NFT actually? Oh, great, great. NFT is gaining more popularity year after year, so it's exciting. For those of you who don't know what it is, I'm going to define it and share some insight on what we are building in terms of NFTs. But first, let me start with a teaser video that shows a little bit what is a Sandbox decentralized gaming platform. On Sandbox, you can create a 3D model in voxel, sort of like digital Legos. You can animate them using our software called VoxEdit, and then you can use this asset to play games either alone or with your friends. You can then sell those assets as non-fungible tokens, NFTs, on our marketplace, trade it with other players, and use them and get back into your game to improve them. You can also earn your own land, which is like a digital space, limited, scarce, on a map that you will use for publishing your games. You can explore the lands from other players and collect rare resources inside that you will be using to make even better assets, more powerful game items. And finally, you can use your avatar, customize it. It's going to be an NFT as well, to explore this virtual world, play all those games in single player and multiplayer, and interact with other players. So on the Sandbox game platform, we have three main components. The first one is called VoxEdit. It's a 3D editor where you can make voxel assets, sort of like digital Legos, and animate them. It's a free product that we launched back in December 2018, and it already has over 65,000 downloads. Hundreds of artists have been using it. They made 3,000 models that they published on our marketplace. You can use VoxEdit as a standalone free software outside of the blockchain. But where all the magic happens is on our dashboard/marketplace. On this marketplace, you can upload the models you've made with VoxEdit, and they will be tokenized as ERC-721 and ERC-1155 non-fungible token that you can start selling, trading, and monetizing. But those are not just collectible items. They do have an utility, and this utility is on our game maker, which is the last component of our platform, and that we will be releasing first alpha release by March, so in the next coming days, to the first landowners, and keep updating until the public launch. But you can also use those NFT in other games and platforms, since they are interoperable. Let me tell you a little bit about our background and track record. We've been doing games for about 8 years now, and we started the Sandbox franchise in 2012. It started as a mobile game. The success grew as we got over 40 million installs on iOS and Android, and we had over 70 million creations made by the user. This is a mobile 2D single-player game, no blockchain involved. But after 7 years of experience in user-generated content working with creators, we identified several pain points, and we decided to make a new version that this time will be 3D, multiplayer, multi-platform, and use blockchain technology to actually empower more the creator, enabling them to truly own their creation and monetize it. So in 2019, we decided to launch this third version of Sandbox, this time as a decentralized gaming platform. And we are now one of the most anticipated blockchain game, as well as ranking 13 in the top 50 blockchain games company. Some of our growth, so even though we are not yet fully live or launched, we have already over 10,000 members on our Discord channel and 500 on our Telegram. 5,000 users have already made an account with a wallet on our dashboard. And already 600 people have bought our lands during the pre-sales and are landowners. I'll get back to this a little bit more. We also communicate quite often about the product. We have made over 68 stories. We have weekly updates about all the development of the project and our involvement with the Ethereum developer community, specifically working on things like ERC 1155 standard or EIP 1776 in terms of meta transaction, which I'll be talking a little bit more after. What is the main pain point that we're trying to address? We're in the space of user-generated content, where games like Minecraft and Roblox are the two main platforms. On this platform, which have been out there for over 10 years and have over 100 million monthly active users, everything that creators make is actually not theirs. They cannot take it out of the platform when they leave the game, and if those platforms cease to exist one day, they will lose all their content and creation. They are not free to monetize them the way they want as well. And so, as a creator, you actually don't really own what you're making. So why we are using blockchain and why gamers need blockchain is essentially for those 4 key factors. The fact that you can truly own your creation perpetually, and you can take it to other platforms and marketplaces, you have the freedom to trade it and monetize it the way you want. It's secure and immutable, which means that you can finally we can have this concept of true digital scarcity, where as a creator, if I decide there will be only 100 copies of a token, an asset, there will be actually no more. It's trustable and provable thanks to the blockchain. I can trade, so it's no longer like a black or gray market. I can go to the primary marketplace like ours, or work with marketplaces like OpenSea, Rarebit, and a few others, to sell my content to other players and monetize it. Which means that as a gamer, I can start monetizing my time, my investment into a game by reselling either my creation or the game items. And finally, it's interoperable, meaning that a game item from one platform can potentially be used by other game developers, and we can have this item, characters implemented, and it can be a way to actually attract gamers from one platform to another, or increase the utility of this game item by having it useful on multiple games. So, yeah, most of you are already familiar with non-fungible tokens. I'm sure all of you have heard about CryptoKitties. Every single cat, those digital cat, is a unique token. It's an ERC 721. It is non-fungible in a sense that it is limited, it has a scarcity. It is not interchangeable, so a cat and another cat are unique and different. They are distinct or unique, and they are indivisible, so I cannot have like 0.001 of a cat. It's a one or many, and that's it. Our approach with Sandbox and how we are empowering creators is to provide them the tools so anyone can make their own NFTs using this 3D voxel approach. So you make art, you make game items, you tokenize them on the marketplace, and then you are free to use those tokens either on our game maker, but game developers can leverage our platform to actually implement those NFT into their game as well. And anyone can use it, so even artists, etc. What is our game maker? And what's our vision here behind is that we are offering a new metaverse. A metaverse is a set of virtual worlds where you can play games, you can host contests and events. It's social, it's multiplayer. You can monetize your creation and experience, you can collect resources, you can own lands in this virtual world, and you can use a token called Sand, or currency, to stake it, participate in the governance, generate more resources, and potentially all the actors in this metaverse be incentivized and have their interest aligned with all the actors of the platform. So this is our VoxEdit software. It's been growing, and it's been, for us, it's been a way to attract a new community to use the blockchain and benefit from non-fungible tokens. It's 3D artists. So in the video game industry, 3D artists are usually the lowest paid jobs. They are always looking for gigs, they produce content, and it's very hard for them to monetize this content beyond just one game. But thanks to VoxEdit, we are providing them a platform with our marketplace where they can resell their content to many users. And this is an overview of our marketplace. And we did run several pre-sale of this asset. Here's an overview, for example. As you can see, most of these assets have already sold out, meaning that game creators, players, collectors could buy those 3D models as NFTs. Some of them have been priced quite high, like 4.3 ETH here, for example, based on their rarity, scarcity, and game attributes. And all this revenue has been given directly to the artist by the smart contract without us, and us only taking a 3% transaction fee on top of the buyer. So as a creator, an artist, I upload my game item, I sell it for 4.36 and I receive 4.36, which I believe is amazing already. And then we are going further. On our platform, we have several types of tokens so that we can really incentivize all the participants, players, artists, creators, game creators, curators, landowners. So the different tokens that support our platform are Sand. It's an ERC20 utility token. Lands, those are ERC721 NFTs that are open to player ownership and can be rented to other creators. Assets that are being made with VoxEdit and that are using the new ERC1155 standard that we are one of the 3 contributors. And then other virtual currencies that support the platform to create a circular economy. Let me walk through a little bit some of the technical aspect of our platform. So beside the game makers, the different components, there's another layer underneath that's supporting our vision and the platform. It is all the smart contracts that enable this decentralized platform. And our approach to working on smart contract has been that always we've been careful to make them public, available on our GitHub, and audited. So anyone can actually look at the source code, can challenge us, can potentially submit issues, but we also work with security testing companies like Certic or Solidified, so they can review our smart contract, rate them, and we got good scores, meaning that after thorough iteration, we've done a rather good job. Here's a little bit an overview of our infrastructure. So we are using Ethereum for provide the Ethereum blockchain to provide the track of the ownership of these NFTs. And behind, we also use IPFS. So it's really decentralized hosting in the sense that all the content, all those 3D models are not stored on our servers, but are stored on distributed servers that hopefully, if for whatever reason one day we cease to exist as a platform, you can still retrieve your content and use it across all other platforms. This has been this is an overview of our system architecture. So we've separated, it's a little bit technical. I'm not in charge of it, but I'll try to describe it the best way I can. So we have separated the backend and the front end. And our backend also include like an Ethereum node. So we continuously listen to the blockchain so we can track any change and reflect it on the front end in terms of like ownership, how users have been traded and transferring those assets. And other use as well. So we are not dependent on the speed of the blockchain to display the change on the front end. Our Sand smart contract, Sand being our utility token, it's a fungible token. It supports meta transaction, meaning that we want users to only have Sand. They don't need to have ETH in their MetaMask wallet or any Web3 wallet in order to be able to do transactions. We have proposed, so our lead blockchain architect, Ronan Sanford, actually he won recently the MetaMask hackathon about meta transaction, has been one of the contributors and proposed this new EIP 1776, which you can read more details about and eventually make suggestions to improve and continue contributing to, so anyone can benefit from this. We also work on a dual ERC721, ERC1155. So about a year ago, when we started, ERC1155 was still in a draft, and together with Engine and Horizon Games, we've been working so it becomes approved as a standard. And nowadays, I believe more and more applications are supporting the ERC 1155 standard thanks to this community work, so it's great. And our approach to the token is like, if, for example, if we have a sword and I need 1,000 swords, instead of tokenizing 1,000 single tokens, there will be only one, so it's a fungible with a scarcity of 1,000 and metadata as a game item. But we kept in our smart contract this option that anyone can extract a single ERC 721 to have like this backward compatibility eventually. And even though we are storing all the data of those tokens, like the image, the 3D model, the animation, etc., on IPFS, we also wanted to have a true proof of ownership, meaning that we store the hash in the metadata, the JSON of the token, and the link to the IPFS file in it as well. In terms of wallet integrations, we've done some work to make it as accessible in terms of UX as possible to all users. So we've worked with a traditional Web3 wallet, and we support MetaMask, Opera, the Dapper wallet, Token Pocket, which is a very popular wallet in Japan as well. And we implemented the EIP 712, which is a way to show more human-friendly message to the user when they sign the message, when we prompt them for the authorization to access some information. But we also integrated a solution called Bitski, which enables anyone to create a wallet, non-custodial, just with an email and password. And over the 5,000 users that have already a wallet on our platform, I believe 70% of them actually chose the simplest email, password, traditional login over MetaMask. Which means that through that, we've been able to onboard new users to actually benefit from blockchain technology and buy NFTs with very little friction. Back to the main component of our game platform. So beside all the blockchain aspects that I've described overall to you, we have still one key product to work on. It is the game maker. Our approach to the game maker is to make it very accessible, so like anyone can make games even without any programming. So we've decided to go with a zero-layer approach. The first layer will be just drag and drop, so you can just drop those items which have pre-made behaviors, and when you hit the play button, you will see them behave automatically without you changing any parameter or coding. But as probably most of you in the audience are developers, so who is a developer? Raise your hand. All right, so most of you are developers. I guess you'll be more interested in what comes next. In a few months afterwards, we'll be releasing visual scripting and ultimately just make your own code and change everything as you like to make even more customizable games. And because we are in a space of user-generated content, we know how important it is to start seeding creativity, seeding content. There's always this chicken and egg problem, like as a creator, you don't want to make something on a platform that doesn't have any users, that doesn't have any game. So before we launch, we have started two funds. The first one is called the Artist Fund. It's more meant for 3D artists to support them creating really nice art and animation that they will be selling and providing to the game creator. It's a 2 million fund that was launched a year ago. And last October at DevCon 5, actually, we launched this Game Makers Fund, where we've been, where we are granting, where we are giving grants between 10K and 30K USD to game creators, so that they are, they can pitch their project, and if they are approved, then we'll be supporting them to create this in our platform using assets made by artists. We already have accepted 15 projects, and we are still open to many more. Oh. And here's a video, maybe, where you can see a little overview of some of those projects that have been made and are part of our Creator Fund already. So some games like Labyrinth, exploration in a first-person view, another city labyrinth. At the moment, they are only single-player games. We are working on the multiplayer stack. Here's more like this Egyptian mythologic world. An hexagonal world. It's quite interesting. I really like how creative those the members of our creator fund are, and what also of ideas they come up with, like Aqualand. So then you go and you explore under the sea. And then some more. So this is still very early on in the process, so don't judge it too fast saying like this looks simple. Just think about it, it's only been 3 months that we make this tool available, and we're preparing for our public launch later this year that probably come between July and October. The last part I want to talk about are the lands. Something that we've done is, well, maybe I'll put the video first. We started to sorry. So as part of our metaverse, what we've done is we've started to sell lands. There's a map with 464 parcels in total, unique land that people can buy, but we didn't release all at once. We started with 2 pre-sales on a total of 4. One back in December last year, and another quite recently, on February 11th, where the users could buy 2.5% of the map first, then 5% of the map. And we've seen really huge interest from the community of creators, from people involved into this metaverse. We also have amazing partners that have been supporting us and that are working with us to create the first experience. They will have their presence, their community, their 3D virtual world on our map. So some of them include MakerDAO, CryptoKitties, Opera, Non-Fungible, traditional brand as well like Shaun the Sheep, and gaming studios, My Crypto Heroes, like Sea Infinity, OpenSea, Tap.com, etc. So a lot of amazing partners that will be the first to offer the experience on our platform. This is how this map looks. So you can already identify a few of those key partners visually. And as I was saying, the response has been amazing by this community. Just on every pre-sale, in less than 1 hour, we always sold out almost everything. And we have collected, I believe, almost 1,400 ETH in total with these 2 pre-sale, just pre-selling 7.5% of the map. Our third round of pre-sale is coming. Actually, we'll announce it very soon on our website. Last part I wanted to talk about is the avatar. As we believe that in a social multiplayer virtual world, something is key is to have your own avatar. You want to have these characters that you can customize. So we created a 3D character that is an NFT that can be equipped with 14 different body parts and customize any animation, any face, any skin. So you can really be the character you want in our metaverse. And maybe to finish this presentation about a Sandbox platform, all our NFTs and our work in the space, I'll show you a last video that shows the avatar in the world. So in a third-person view, you can be this girl, you can be this guy, and then you will be walking with this third-person view, exploring this virtual world. You can interact with other players, start chatting, etc. And that's it. I really invite you to follow our community, to challenge us, to give us feedbacks, to participate with us in making Ethereum even better through various suggestions like meta transaction or ERC 1155 standards, and potentially participate in our upcoming land presale. Thank you. Any questions? Right.
Please, so we are late, so let's ask the question
No
outside,
question. Okay.
outside and
All right.
and yeah. Thanks.